Well, hello, Fairfield Christian School family. Hope you guys are doing well. Today is Thursday, May the 10th. Can't believe how time is going by so quickly. And on this edition of Thursday Thoughts, I want to talk to you real quickly about standardized testing. Last week, you should have received your students' results if you have a student in grade 3 through 10. The very day, or perhaps the next day, I think for the upper grades, we emailed you the results of the testing because that's how fast we can get it to you. Now, some parents look at that very detailed and you get very worried about every little thing. Thank you. And then other parents are like, whatever. And we understand that as well. So I wanted to give you our overall school philosophy as it relates to standardized testing. When you look at the bottom of that report, it gives you what's called the national standards. We don't care about them. And let me explain why. We do not believe you can throw a bunch of kids in a class or across the nation, group them together, stir them up, and find out what the average is, and then say, okay, my kid's below average or above average. Well, sure, that might be true as an average, but what it doesn't take into account is who they are and who God created them to be. So as we look at testing, we want to see how they compare to themselves. In other words, from a year ago, did they increase at least 1.0, which indicates a full grade? A lot of our kids, in fact, most of our kids, 1.3. 1.4, 1.5, we're seeing tremendous growth from where they were to where they are now. And that's how God looks at us. Now, obviously, as we look at those tests, we see trouble areas. We want to incorporate that back into the classroom, find out how we can strengthen those particular kids in those particular areas, and that's just good education. But when we get locked into how we compare a child to another average fifth grader someplace else, let's be honest. There's a parable in the scripture that Jesus taught, and he talks about the parable of the talents, where some servants were given 5 talents, some were given 2, some were given 1. And we like to say, oh, everybody can do everything equal, but we know that's not the case. How many of you can't work with your hands to save your life? I'm one of those. When my car breaks down, I take it to someone, because you do not want me turning a wrench and trying to fix your car. I've tried. I don't get it. It doesn't come easy to me. It's not natural. And some of you mechanics out there going, of course it's natural. What's hard to understand? Well, that's how I feel about computers and a lot of other things that I'm involved in. Music. I can read sheet music. Can you? Does it make me better than you? Does it make you better than me? It makes us different, the way God created us to be. So as we look at tests, as we look at results, let's be sure to compare a child against themselves and how they're improving instead of where some made up average says that an average fifth grader should be, because we know those standards do not exist. Certainly if you have questions and think that we need to really look at an area for your child, please let us know. We want to talk about that. We want to do better. We want to make every child achieve the best of their ability, their top potential, but the key word being his or her, their potential, what they are capable of. That is our philosophy. I hope you understand it, and that is all about individualized education. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Talk to you next week.